Testing. Hello everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video on NFTs that I just posted on Twitter. There's a TLDR version of what these NFTs are all about, and I wanted to take some questions online if anybody have any questions on it. Also, please give me a thumbs up if my sound is coming through okay. Looks like we have 32 people joined the stream just now. So I'm broadcasting live from Hawaii, and I have my new setup. I'm still learning the OBS, so I'm using the OBS streaming software, which is pretty good. Pretty easy to use and very powerful, so you can share all kinds of things. Looks like my sound levels are good. Thanks, guys. Basically, I just wanted to talk about the NFT categories, and I'm also answering questions on Twitter, but I will answer any questions here too. These NFTs, there's three major categories. There's the Apex category, which is the top class, and then there's the limited category, and then there's the collector. So all of the NFTs are meant to mint more Zen. So as you guys probably already know, there is a tool that allows you to mint multiple wallets, so you don't have to juggle your wallets and remember wallets or insert them into Excel spreadsheets or any kind of spreadsheet you use. So the option is to the option there is that it will allow you to mint up to 128 VMUs. VMUs are virtual minting units, and what those minting units represent, each VMU is a wallet or an address to a wallet. And the categories, and there's three, those categories indicate that some of them are rare and some of them are limited and some of them are just what we call collector category. And the collector category is an NFT that you do not need to burn any Zen for it, and it will still mint the future Zen based on how many VMUs you specify. The Apex NFTs are quite rare, and there's multiple classes within the Apex category. There is the Zunicorn, which is the most rare, and there is only 100 NFTs will ever be made. There is the Exotic, there's 900 of them. Legendary, 2,000. Epic, 3,000. And the last class is rare, and it's 4,000 NFTs. Now there's total of 10,000 NFTs that you will be able to mint, and they have special graphics. They have a little yin-yang symbol on them, and you will not be able to mint more than 10,000. And what makes those special is that they require you to burn Zen, and we have yet to announce how much Zen you actually have to burn. But the idea here is to balance the inflationary aspect of Zen with the Zen burn, which should basically balance the total supply. So it will make Zen a little bit more rare, and also will use Zen as the currency to create those NFTs. Now, the NFT category that we call limited, they're not limited by number, they're limited by time. The total amount of time is 365 days, and you can mint as many as you want, and you will require to burn Zen. The last category is collector. That category does not require you to burn any Zen, but it will work as Zen bulk minter. So you'll still have to pay gas for each one, and the more VMU you specify, the more gas you have to spend. So I'd like to take some questions if there's any questions on the live chat. So I'm ready to answer anything you guys want to ask. So feel free to ask me anything about this upcoming launch of ZenNFTs. The team and I are very excited to launch the ZenNFTs. It is the first application that will be using Zen for something. So meaning that you need to have Zen in your wallet before you can actually mint. So the top two categories require Zen burn, and the last one does not require any burn and will be used mostly just as, will give you an ability to burn, will give you an ability to mint Zen in the future. And when you mint Zen with the NFT, you will be able to send this NFT to your friends, or you can gift it to them, and the future Zen will be loaded into those NFTs, and you will be able to claim, or somebody else who you give Zen to will be able to claim Zen in the future. So on one side, the top two top categories, the Apex and the limited ones, will require the burn. So that will actually make Zen disappear from the market. So let's see if there's any good questions. So the question is, are those for Ethereum only? At the moment, we're focusing on Ethereum. We want to launch on Ethereum and we want to see how it works, and then eventually we will launch on BSC and Polygon, at least. And the reason why we will launch on BSC and Polygon, because those are the top user chains, and those chains don't require you to burn a lot of gas, so it will make NFTs more available for people to mint. And at the same time, both Polygon and BSC have a vibrant NFT community, as well as the platforms to that will allow you to trade those NFTs. Somebody is asking, what would I say is the main proposition for NFTs that require the burn? So the main proposition to require the burn is just to make Zen less available. Now, let's say that there's some people who are not into NFTs and they're just holding Zen. So when you burn Zen and the Zen price or Zen value moves up because more people want them, that will actually make them participants in the whole ecosystem, even if they're not doing anything with the NFTs. So it's kind of a win-win for the ecosystem and for our community. So whoever is holding Zen should see Zen appreciate. Now, we can't really say for sure that it's actually going to work, but if it does work, then it's a pretty balanced system. Somebody's thanking me for an awesome project. Thank you for participating. We have received a lot of interesting feedback from the community. There's about 30,000 people in the community that gathered together around Zen in just 45 days, which is amazing feat in itself. So very thankful for everyone who are participating. Somebody is asking, FIIHYD is asking, what determines which NFT you receive? Do you choose which category you want, or this is determined when you buy them? So I wanted to stress that you do not need to buy the NFTs. You actually mint them. And the way that you can specify which NFTs you're getting is that you can actually choose on the web interface which category you want to go after, whether it's Apex, Limited, or Collector. So it's entirely up to a person how much Zen they want to burn, how much gas they want to spend, and that will dictate what kind of NFTs they're going to be receiving. Zen Tribe is asking, what is the utility of NFTs? They're on one side, they're collectible. On the other side, they're very functional in the sense that it gives Zen utility. So you will be able to make more Zen with ZenFTs. ZenFTs will produce more Zen for you in the future, and it also makes your future Zen mint portable that you can gift or sell on OpenSea. Dr. Selim is asking when ZenFTs. So we're currently about to launch the testnet on Polygon, and we want to kick the tires. We want to do an audit, and we will launch right afterwards. So I would say the education is probably the most important thing, because I don't want people to dive into something they do not understand. So we want to spend enough time to get people aboard in terms of knowledge, in terms of why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and what the end result or expected result should be. Gemma Beans is asking, do all VMU term days have to be the same? They actually do not. So VMUs are virtual minting units. That is just how many wallets are minting in parallel, which is similar to computer CPU cores. They all work for you in parallel, and they do not have to be the same. The term is also specified by the end user or the minter. Now, the term could be as short as 1 day for the collector class or collector category. And there are other ones that are limited in Apex. The term will also pretty much can be whatever you want, but VMUs will have to be high enough to generate those NFTs. Will Zen be on Pulse chain? Pac-Man is asking. I don't see why it shouldn't be. I think Zen should be on every chain. So there's really no reason why we should neglect any chains out there. So we want it to be everywhere. And again, Zen is open source project. So we want Zen to be everywhere. And that just will allow more people to be exposed to our project. So that's overall is a good thing. We have 74 people in the chat right now. So there's more and more questions coming in. I'm trying to find the good ones. After ZenFTs, what will you be doing next? Exploring different chains, or will you be implementing more burning mechanisms if it's possible? We will always be looking for creative ways to burn Zen, because we want Zen to be useful. And when I say burning Zen, it's underneath, like what it means inside the contract. It means that yes, you do burn it, but it's very similar to paying or generating a new token with Zen. So the burn sounds like it's being distracted. And it's true. Zen will be distracted and will be burned, but Zen will also be used to generate the NFTs or any other tokens. Will there be any use case for NFTs after we claim them? The use case is there's two types of use cases. So there's the collectors out there that they just want to collect NFTs or collect any NFTs, and people want to get something that's rare and just keep it, and then potentially in the future to sell it. If the price of Zen goes up, we see NFT value also go up, and vice versa. If the NFT launch is successful, then we see Zen appreciating in value too. So it's pretty much a closed loop economy. The other thing I wanted to mention is that, as you can see on the explainer paper or explainer document that I'm sharing, these NFTs have categories, but inside each NFT, you actually get the C rank. So your C rank is something that you get to keep as a collectible. So like, for example, let's say that your C rank is under 1,000 or under 10,000 or under 100,000. That allows you to keep the C rank for yourself forever, unless you sell it. Somebody says a lot of those questions are a waste of time. Read the light paper and you will get your answers. That is absolutely true. The light paper actually is also on Twitter, on my Twitter, at Mr. Jack Levin. And there you can pretty much understand the mechanics of what the whole thing is. But I wanted to take the opportunity to interact with the community as well live so that you guys can ask me the questions that you perhaps do not get the answer for in the paper. Will there be NFTs on every chain? I don't see why not. Anything that's Ethereum compatible should work. Another question is, can you specify a certain number of VMUs for specific days? Once you mint the ZenFT, the VMU is burned in, so you cannot really change the days. However, you can choose to mint several NFTs and specify different VMUs for different days. So that's definitely possible. Zen Tribe is asking, what would you like to see built on Zen? I would say the world is the limit. And I like to see absolutely anything that's possible to be designed. It's not only that our team should work on this, but pretty much everybody out there who finds Zen to be useful would like Zen to be used for all kinds of projects, DeFi, gaming, more NFTs, things like that. Somebody's asking, do I have an Instagram? I was followed by Jack Levin, but not sure if it's really you. It's probably not me. I'm not active on Instagram at all, so it's probably somebody else. So be very careful. Someone is asking, will there be a token transfer? Will the token transfer work on different chains? It kind of works already, in a way that you can swap your Zen for another Zen on a different chain, and you can use SushiSwap for that. But you will not be able to transfer Zen one-to-one because every chain has their own Zen, and the value of Zen on every chain is different. Paul Tucker is asking, will there be a bridge? I think there might be a bridge if somebody builds it, but I think the bridges already exist. So it's just a matter of using the bridge that you like. There's, I think, something called all-chain bridge. That one could work. There's also something called Stargate. So Stargate works with SushiSwap. So if you swap Zen with SushiSwap, you can use the Stargate bridge underneath. Dr. Selim is asking, is it better to mint Zen before the NFTs launch? I would say it's always better to mint Zen rather than to buy it, because minting Zen allows you to lock in much better rate. And when you mint Zen, you're actually creating it out of nothing. You're not buying it from someone else. So you pretty much always get the better price. And you do need Zen before the NFT launch. Otherwise, you will not be able to generate the NFTs unless the category is collector. That category does not require Zen at all. So you can just use gas. One of the users is asking Mr. Kim, what's the role of Zen in the future? I would say the role is to connect the world around the cryptocurrencies. Right now, 95% of people in the world do not use cryptocurrencies for anything. So we want Zen to be in every wallet, and people will be able to come up with utilities how to use Zen once everybody has it. So that's the future. The future, within the next 3 or 4 years, we'll want 50% of the world's population to have Zen. Because I would say Zen is the friendliest cryptocurrency, because you don't have to buy it, you can just mint it. Someone is asking a very good question. Bitcoin Africa. How will you and your team make money out of Zen apart of minting yourself? So our team and I were part of the community, and we're minting Zen for ourselves. We're just happy that there is so much activity happening. I think we'll make money just by minting Zen. So that is the best way to make money for the team. We believe in the project. Obviously, we're sponsoring everything around it. So I would say we're eating our own dog food. We're minting Zen. We're minting Zen every weekend. Jimrat says, I'm here. Hey, Jimrat, welcome. Good to have you. Richard is asking, is the collector category limited by time like the limited category for bulk minting? The collector category is not limited by time. It will exist in perpetuity, so you will be able to make as many collector NFTs as you like without burning Zen. You just need to pay gas to create it. And you can specify the term limit and the VM use however you like. 98 people in the chat. Awesome. Jimrad is saying, I'm here for the unfair crypto. Yes, I think most of the crypto out there has been unfair, unfortunately. So we're glad that we're the first and actually we're not the first in the category. I think Bitcoin was fairly fair at the start. The only thing that was unfair about the Bitcoin is no one knew what Bitcoin actually meant. And so only the cypherpunks, which is like 200 people in 2010, were mining Bitcoin. And so they mined a huge amount. Now with Zen, it's different because we know what crypto is all about. So it gives more of a distribution for everybody out there. Pulse Hopium says, hate towards Jack makes me want to mint even more Zen. Well, I think there's strong feelings all around, and if it makes people to mint more Zen, that's great. It's awesome. Someone says, hello, Satoshi. With Zen, we're all Satoshi. So we're like in a Satoshi's club, like so to speak. I think it's pretty great. Stace is asking, do you see NFTs rendering vanilla minting obsolete? I don't think so. Some people will never get into NFTs, so regular minting of Zen is definitely valuable, especially if NFTs get hot. That will make Zen more scarce. Therefore, vanilla minting or minting Zen the regular way is definitely going to continue to be a great option. What will be the gas cost of minting NFTs? Somebody is asking. Will there be more expensive or comparable? I would say that they will be very comparable with regular Zen, just because the logic underneath the contract is pretty much the same. It's using the same Zen ERC20 contract, and the requirement for gas is about the same. There's really not much difference. Smarty Digital is asking a good question. This question comes up all the time. Can you explain if price of Zen will be the same on every chain? I don't think it will be the same because every chain has different type of people, different gas, and you can go to zen.fyi and you can have a nice dashboard showing you how much Zen is available on every chain. So we see 20 million Zen G rank on Doge chain, for example, and it's very cheap to mint on other chains other than Ethereum. So definitely the value is going to be different. Jimrat saying, a touch of background music wouldn't kill you. 33% volume would be glorious. Yeah, I still need to figure it out. I need to, if you have a nice soundtrack that I should be playing, then let's do it. Actually, maybe I should just load my favorite track and play it. So let's see if I can do it right now. There we go. How's this music? Matthew Mack is asking, I think you mentioned before allowing Zen burn optional for the collector category. Yeah, so collector categories, the burn is not required. It's just a utilitarian form of the Zen NFTs that will allow you to mint more Zen. CryptoT is annoyed at GRC and saying, no, music is the best. Zen top 25 coin by 2025. Well, I think we were in top 5 by burn, by Ethereum burn. So I totally see the community getting even larger every month. So I hope that we're gonna remain in top 5 by community members, as well as by the utility and by the amount of Zen we burn. I'm sorry, by the amount of Ethereum we burn, which makes Ethereum deflationary, which is great for the Ethereum holders. So I think if you guys look at the charts for Ethereum, right now Ethereum is 1172, and last time Bitcoin dipped to 17, which was July, I believe, or maybe June, Ethereum actually touched 700. So Ethereum when it's priced in Bitcoin is actually outperforming Bitcoin big time, and I think part of it is burn, and we're happy to contribute to burn. I think Ethereum is working as the Ethereum team wanted it to work, so that's great. Somebody says, if you did a poll that found that the community would prefer the collector series to have small Zen burn function, would that sway your mind? I think people should have options. So there should be an option to burn, an option not to burn. So when the coin tools came up with the bulk minting function, everyone asked when we're going to have our bulk minting function. So the collector NFT is just that. It's a bulk minting function without the burn. So I think we should have it, because the other categories are also available, and those other categories are much more rare. Matthew Max says, GRC, I watch your show every day. Keep up the good work. Yeah, GRC is he's good with his shows. I appreciate the dedication. Pascal is asking, will Zen ever come to layer 2s? I don't think Zen should be on layer 2s, because layer 1s are just good enough. And we do want Zen to be somewhat hard to come by, so layer 2s, they optimize for gas. Like, imagine if Zen was just given out for free completely. There would be some functionality, but it will also only be connected to the time you spend. But having a little bit of gas burn actually makes chains safer, because it stops the spam. So I think we don't want layer 2s to go down. Like, I think we launched on Dogechain, and Dogechain went down for like a week, or at least it was very, very slow because their gas was too cheap. So gas actually protects the chains from being abused. Will anyone be able to burn NFTs? I don't think we have the NFT burn function, but it is possible that somebody will just decide to send them all to null address, which is an equivalent of burn. But we don't have that function right now. Bitcoin Africa is asking, Zen after Jack, what would Zen become? Well, I don't know what you mean by after Jack. It's kind of already after Jack or after Fair Crypto Foundation, because Zen is open source in its own chain. It's immutable, no admin keys. It's open source. So it's already after us. It's given to the community. So it's a community token. It belongs to everybody. Banana Boy is screaming, burn, burn, and burn Zen. Yes, I mean, I think burn is an overused word. What it basically means is that let's make an asset scarce by giving it utility, and I think that's what we're trying to do. Big Pinocchio says he meant when Jack is dead after Jack. Well, you guys should know by now that I'm immortal, so I don't plan to be dead anytime soon. CK is asking, what happens after the NFTs? Is there a roadmap? We have a roadmap, but it's currently not public, just because we want people to be, always checking for the roadmap and asking if there's a roadmap. So it keeps people occupied and guessing. And of course, we're soliciting information from the community. We want the community to tell us what the roadmap should be. So by all means, do join our Telegram and talk to us on Twitter, and we will consider all good possible outcomes for Zen. Richard is asking, what's the incentive to mint top 2 categories over the collector besides burning of Zen in rarity? Well, I think the rarity is definitely the function of all NFTs. And we want to combine the rarity with abundance. So if Zen is abundant, we want something to be rare to balance the abundance. Because if Zen was a game, we want this game to actually to be challenging and balanced. We don't want just everything to be flooded with useless free token without any use. So I think the rarity and ability to use Zen for something is good. Clive Richardson is asking, roadmap request, extend Zen to other smart contract standards in addition to EVM. We're definitely thinking about it. Right now, the EVM is definitely the top number one ecosystem. So we want to win. We want to win within the EVM ecosystem first, but we're definitely considering everything else out there. Crypto T is asking, do I like chess? I do love chess. I play chess as much as I can. Matthew is asking, what are the areas of the world do you see the needs that needs more Zen crypto exposure? Not just areas of the world, but communities. I would say every community should be exposed to Zen, because Zen embodies the first principles of crypto, and everybody should be practicing first principles. It makes people more resistant to situations like Celsius and FTX. Bitcoin Africa is asking very good questions. Is Zen network infrastructure distributed and decentralized? So the web app is running on Amazon and some other cloud that I'm not going to mention, because I don't want people to potentially do some nasty things. The Zen's contract is on Ethereum, so it's pretty safe. But the web app runs on Amazon. Zen Tribe is asking, am I from the future? So humans are interesting creatures. Humans think there's past and there's future. What if there was no future? What if everything was happening at the same time all the time? So perhaps the better question is what timeline of the multiverse am I from? That would be a better question. Banana Boy is talking about the Zens coming out of a bear market. I think all of the great projects should come from the bear market or come from the bear market because people are less distracted by the fluff and people are focusing on really good things. And I think Zen is one of those good things. Mesgateros is asking, when did you first think of this project? I think I always thought about this project since the Bitcoin launch. So you could argue I was thinking about it for the last 10 years. But a lot of it came to me in a dream. I just was having a dream about cryptocurrency that was fair and everyone had it. Banana Boy saying Jack is from the 80s. I'm a little bit older than that. But thanks. Will the mint ever stop? I don't think mint will ever stop until, well, I take it back. The mint slows down every day by about 0.1%. In about 8 years, mint will stop to, it will move to a crawl, I guess. You will be able to mint maybe 10 Zen per day, maybe 20 Zen per day, but no more than that. Right now, you can mint between 50 to 70,000 Zen per day, which is a very, very big difference. Why did I pick the name Zen? I think Zen stands opposed of all of the like hyperactivity of crypto, pumping and dumping. So Zen embodies the state of mind where you feel like you don't have to rush anywhere. You can just mint and chill and be in your Zen space. I like 80s music, so maybe that's the only thing that connects me to 80s. I like Depeche Mode. Someone says, if you drink enough apple cider vinegar and eat enough cayenne pepper, you will travel to different timelines. Yeah, I think if you eat too much of anything, your mind will split into parallel realities for sure. James is asking, can you give an idea of the amount of Zen required to burn for each of these Zunicorn NFTs? So I think Zunicorn is going to be at least 1 billion Zen, but we're still deciding if it's going to be that number or not. So imagine this, 100 Zunicorn rares NFTs, 1 billion each. That's 100 billion Zen potentially burned, which is about 20% of the total supply, which is pretty epic, I would say. Matthew Mack is saying, no names obviously, but do your Silicon Valley connections know and mint Zen? I heard one of the members of our community who owns a YouTube channel complain about it. I think I saw it. I don't think that complaint is actually valid. I mean, I do have a lot of friends in Silicon Valley and most of them are minting Zen right now, but it doesn't mean anything. Because what is the Silicon Valley compared to the rest of the world? The rest of the world is all we have and it's huge, and Silicon Valley is actually pretty small. So I wouldn't really focus that much on Silicon Valley. But I think maybe the gist of the question was, if Silicon Valley knows about Zen, will they pump Zen? I think pumping Zen is not the feature of Zen. Spreading across the world is the feature. Buying Zen is like booking your ticket to the moon. Well, buying and minting, I would say. Zen Tribe is asking, what time of the universe do you come from? Every timeline. Gunin is asking, have you ever tried drinking kava? Yeah, I actually have tried drinking kava. I have a whole bag of kava. Kava It's pretty cool. I mean, in Hawaii, it's like a thing. It's a Polynesian root that's ground into or grinded into a powder, and people consume it. So there's all kinds of rituals you can do by drinking kava. It's pretty great. We want it on the Binance platform, somebody says. I think we want it on the Binance too. I think Binance is awesome. I mean, Binance is somewhat centralized, but the amount of users that they have is just great. Cry Eternal is asking, what car do you drive, Jack? I drive electric e-tron Audi. It's an SUV. But in Hawaii, I drive Ford F-150. It's a pickup truck. I love that truck. It's great. Somebody says he's from Dagobah system. Yeah, that's right. Dagobah system. That's where I'm from. Banana Boy is asking for doing a Binance exchange. So we never asked anybody to list Zen anywhere. If Binance lists it, it's going to be entirely their own doing. So that would be awesome if they did that. I think Zen should be everywhere. CK is asking if I'm an alien. Definitely an alien. Banana Boy says, Jack, you need nice 912 Porsche Turbo. Yeah, I should check it out. Someone says, blow up your F-150 to prove yourself. It's kind of falling apart already. I don't think it can survive being blown up, or it will not be that much of a statement if I blow up my Ford. What version of Zen will be on Binance? I guess the question is. It's going to be BZen, so small b and capital Zen. Yeah, Porsches are great. I had Porsche, not the turbo version, but the one that's non-turbo 911S, and I love that car. Donald Brandt is asking, do you advocate keeping your assets off exchanges? I absolutely do. However, exchanges do have their function. They work great as kind of like pseudo bridges. Like, for example, you could go to an exchange and trade your Ethereum from Ethereum blockchain into OKX and then have them send your OKX tokens to your OKX wallet. So that works pretty well. Just be careful because those exchanges can go offline anytime they want, especially the international ones. Somebody says, what are your thoughts on men wearing purses? You mean like a merce? Men's purses are merce? I think it's very popular in Europe. So, I mean, when I was in Russia, everybody were like wearing something around their, on their shoulders. Like, they didn't look like purses, but I think it's because like in Europe, you have to wear a purse or something to carry your passport because you may be stopped on the street and people will have to check your documents. So that's why people carry those things. Hey, Gary Gassler. Welcome to the chat. Ask me some hard questions, Gary. Banana Boy. Jack is like Ivan Dragon. I think it's Ivan Drago, not Dragon. So there's no N. And this is the reference to the Rocky IV, I believe. Good one. And by the way, Ivan Drago, he was played by Dolph Lundgren. I think he's Swedish. He's not even Russian. How's the surfing? I haven't gone to surf yet. It's just this computer and blockchain and crypto keeping me busy. So, but and the weather wasn't really that great. It was, the waves were too choppy. So I just need to find a good spot to go out surfing. Maybe I'll go today. Pacific Northwest Hacks is asking, does minting of a long stake take a lot of gas because it has to calculate every day? No. So unlike Hacks, Zen does not calculate every day. Zen's emissions or yield or mint is independent of the other people participating. That's why everyday calculation is not necessary. So it's all the same gas. So that's why I always tell people that they have to mint for as long as possible, because the gas cost is the same, but you just simply make more Zen. Banana Boy says, Jack, do you go to Duke's there? Duke's isn't it a restaurant? I know like Duke is like a big thing in Honolulu. There's a statue of Duke on the Honolulu beach. Across from it is like the best sushi. So I go to that sushi place a lot. Gemma Beans asks, when you cook for yourself, what do you make? I make steak. I love steak. I'm on Oahu. That's the island I'm on Oahu right now. Hex versus Zen. What are my thoughts? So Hex is pretty interesting. I mean, it has a lot of interesting code in it, but it's also very complex. So Zen is very, very simple, and it is as simple as Bitcoin. I mean, if anybody looked at the Bitcoin code when it was released, it was tiny. It wasn't much to it. I actually looked at that code. I looked at their C code, and I even compiled it myself. So I really wanted to model something that was similar to Bitcoin and not overcomplicate things. How many days did you choose to mint your Zen? I'm choosing 425 days. I'm in no hurry to get my Zen. So 400 days plus is a good amount of days to mint. Crypto B is asking, is the first 100 Apex will burn 1 to 10 billion Zen? I think if it's a billion Zen per NFT, we're looking at 100 billion at least. So Matthew is saying, Jack, please talk more about your idea to borrow value of Zen to use for gas fees at the end of term. It's a very good idea, and I think we're trying to come up with a good way to optimize it. So like specifically, let's say that you're minting 50 wallets and you don't have enough gas to actually pay for it. So there should be a DeFi protocol that can claim, let's say, 5 or 10% of your Zen for gas. It's obviously going to be less than that, could be even less than 1%. But having a DeFi protocol to execute the mint for you and then take the remaining Zen and sell it for gas is a great idea. But at the same time, I would say that if you're minting with multiple wallets, you can just specify, I mean, like, or even if you're using NFTs, you can say 20 VMUs for one NFT and 100 for the other. So 100 may be unaffordable to mint, but 20 definitely will be affordable. So you can turn that 20 VMU NFT into cash or into Ethereum and to pay for gas like that. Gunin is asking, Jack, are you an M chip or Intel processor guy or both? I think I'm both. I like them both. I'm definitely on a Mac right now, so it's using an ARM chip. So I think it's pretty cool. And I'm using the Mac Studio right now. I think it's a great machine. D. Arvo says 100 billion, that would be like 1/5 or 20% of the total supply. You're absolutely right. We want a lot of the supply to be burned for NFTs, assuming NFTs are actually take off and people want to do it. Is Zen Mint a taxable event? I don't know. Depends on the country you're in. You're just gonna have to check your laws. What is the penalty for a late claim? So late claim penalty is 7 days. That's 99% penalty. But if you're late just a couple of days, the penalty is going to be 1% the first day, 3% the next day, and like 6% or maybe 9% the third day. So you have plenty of time to wake up and get your mint done. When someone refers to Binance, how do you know they mean the chain or the exchange? Well, I guess the people just should say it's either the chain or the exchange. There's no other way to know. D. Arva says, Mac, I would have taken you for a Debian Linux guy. Well, I am a Debian Linux guy for sure, but I love my graphics UI. But I'm spending a lot of time in shell all day. So my terminal SSH goes to Linux in the cloud somewhere. And I also run virtual machines for the development. So most of my development happens on Linux for sure, not on the Mac. The Mac is just for bells and whistles and ease of use, streaming, things like that. Will ZenFT's VMUs actually be wallets on ETH chain? They're not wallets, they're addresses. So they're used as the identifiers of the mint, of the future mint. So each address is kind of like a wallet, but you can't use it because there's no private key. The private key is controlled by the ZenFT itself. Mango Agro says, do I have a paying job? Is Zen my hobby? That's a good question. I don't work for, I guess, the 9-to-5 job. So I don't make money by having someone else giving me money. But I do run a company. I do run imagehack.com and I run inventify.com, imagizer.com. So those companies generate revenue. The Stoner says, do I prefer indica or sativa? You know, I think it's a personal preference, definitely for many people. It depends on, I think it all depends on the smell. I tried this and that. It doesn't make much difference to me. So somehow. Gunin says, best AMA so far, more intimate. Yeah, I'm all about intimacy. let's bring intimacy back. Somebody says, why would one burn their own tokens to get NFTs? Please explain the benefits. Well, I think the benefits is that first you get something rare that's never going to be produced again, and you're transferring from your Zen value to the NFT value. So all of it is just numbers, and you're moving something that's valuable into something else that may be even more valuable based on the market forces. So Zen is like change, like spare change, like metal coins, and NFTs is more like digital certificates, so like more like paper money, but in a digital form. Matthew asks, the follow-up question from your answer with crypto kindness the other day, is there a way to determine the estimated Zen that will be minted on NFTs like we see on the individual mints? Yeah, absolutely. So the individual mints web app, it just shows you the total amount of Zen you're going to receive in the future based on the total network participation. So with the NFTs, it will be very easy to do the same type of estimate. You just need to multiply everything by the VMU number. So times 10 is like 10 VMUs, times 100 is 100 VMUs. Mohammed Hussein is asking, have I set the date for the NFTs? There's no date set. We need to do thorough testing, and we want the community to test everything. So that's why it's going on the testnet. The new version, the one that's burning Zen, is going to be available very shortly. I'm talking about days. Somebody says, will Mint ever stop? Mint will not stop, but it will slow down to a trickle. So after 8 years, may as well be over. Somebody says, I'm not clear. 1 billion for special NFTs, that's a lot of money. Well, that's what makes them special. There's a lot of burn is required. So we wanted to have NFTs available for the quote-unquote degens as well as the regular people, so everybody gets something. By the way, this music that I'm listening to, it's it's not focusing. But anyway, it's some sort of like cypherpunk music that's happening right there. So when I do coding, I like listening to that. I think it's actually from Johnny Mnemonic, potentially. That's Keanu Reeves' Johnny Mnemonic. Or maybe it's something else entirely, I actually don't know. Zoom Truth says it would be nice to see ImageShack accept Zen for payment. It's a great idea. I think we should. ImageShack should accept Zen for payment. That would be awesome. I've never owned a CryptoPunk NFT. No, I haven't. Do people at Google know anything about Zen? Well, I think if they were playing with Ethereum, and if they're monitoring Ethereum gas burn, they definitely do know, because we were the ones who started the major Zen burn. I'm sorry, Ethereum burn. Zen burn's coming, but Ethereum burn definitely happened. So if we could burn Ethereum, we could definitely burn some Zen. That's what I'm thinking. Would gas fee be too high for Zen payment? I don't think it will be. I think it really depends. Depends on the Ethereum gas Gwei, I guess. I mean, Gwei could spike for some reason, but right now Gwei is like 12 or 11, and it looks like it's a good time to mint. It's actually the gas price has been low this week. Everybody's freaking out about FTX and nobody wants to touch crypto. Perfect time to mint. Animal Club is asking, can you show me a t-shirt? I'm gonna show you a t-shirt if you show me yours. Yeah, question about Elon is getting money transmitter license. Yeah, I think he's definitely up to something. I mean, he is coming from the PayPal universe or PayPal world, and I think definitely he wants to plug something in terms of payment into Twitter. And that's just a speculation, but it kind of makes sense. If he were to do it, it would be him. Do I think USDT will be depegged? I hope not. It would be really bad if it was depegging. Matthew says, each NFT will have more value than you spend to mint. That's a good opportunity. I agree. It is a good opportunity. All right, I'll take a few more questions and then I'll probably call it a day for the stream. So come up with something juicy. I'll take 3 more questions. Dr. Salam is asking, is Zen pump and dump proof or immune against manipulation? I don't think it is immune against manipulation or pump and dump, but it is immune against the founding team having any Zen pumping and dumping it. So in that case, Zen is a community token, so it's, I would say, impossible for anybody to acquire so much Zen besides minting, and nobody pre-minted Zen, so I would say it's better. But it's definitely not resistant to pump and dump. I mean, we have seen prices go to 5 zeros and 6 and go up to 4 zeros in 6 or 4 zeros and 5, which is like 8x in just 3 days. So does it mean it's proof to pump and dump? It's really just subject to the market activity, I would say. Any special plans for Apex holders? Maybe airdrops. There's no airdrops because nobody has any NFTs before they get minted, and we can't mint them because it wouldn't be fair. And we're all for fairness. TSK is asking, why is there no captcha at minting to exclude the bots? So this is a very good question, and a lot of people misunderstand what the bots are. The bots are software that automate minting using blockchain itself. They don't use the web page. So even if we had the captcha on the web page, it would not stop automation just by using the blockchain. All right, guys, it was great talking to you all, and please take a look at this explainer page that I posted. It explains what the categories are, the classes, the name conventions, and please be aware that there will be a testnet coming up, and I will be tweeting when it becomes available with the URL. So definitely play with these NFTs before they're out and before you actually have to pay real money for them, if you choose to do so, so that you actually have a little bit of practice. Thanks everyone. I think it's time to go check out the surf and see what's out there in the ocean, and maybe do a little bit of work on the code and reviews and various other things. Thanks everyone. Talk to you soon.